Body dysmorphic disorder is a subset of OCD that's called part of the spectrum because it has some nuances that are slightly different than classic OCD. Body dysmorphic disorder is where a person believes that they involve a characteristic, mostly visual, that to their mind creates a sense of their grotesqueness. An example is I worked with a woman many years ago who had a single pore on her nose that was slightly larger than the other pores on her nose. To her mind, when she looked in the mirror, that single pore was equivalent to a moon crater, and she believed, because of that pore being larger than the others, that she was deformed and grotesque. It's common for people to be aware of their appearance. It's common for people to try to optimize their appearance. With body dysmorphic disorder, there is a never-ending, desperate seeking of affirmation that the defect isn't as bad as they think it to be. And there's a very focused attention to these defects, which are either imagined or microscopically existent. So common symptoms of persons suffering from body dysmorphic disorder involve a lot of social avoidance, a lot of covering up behavior, and also a lot of reassurance seeking. People will show pictures to others of what they perceive to be their defect and encourage others to reassure them that it's not as bad as they believe it to be. But mostly it involves a tremendous amount of avoidance of mirrors that might remind or prompt the person that the defect exists. It's often not too confusing to recognize a loved one as having body dysmorphic disorder because there's such a preoccupation with appearance. With body dysmorphic disorder, it even goes beyond that desperation for affirmation of looking good. It involves a never-ending searching for confirmation that things aren't as bad as the person sees it to be. So loved ones can identify this and recommend readings or recommend seeking out an expert in the treatment of this. Recovery for body dysmorphic disorder would involve the person being able to see themselves in the mirror or be aware of the potential that that defect exists without it being highly distressing or without it creating a tremendous amount of need for avoidance or escape. Treatment for body dysmorphic disorder can be very, very painful for the sufferer, even a bit more so than typical OCD, because it touches such a sensitive spot in terms of a person's actual identity or appearance. And so having a person gradually let the world be able to observe what they believe to be their visual defects. Persons also might take pictures of themselves in a way that exacerbates their perceived defect and use those pictures repeatedly each day as an exposure and therefore promoting the habituation to the sense of grotesqueness or anxiety that comes with the condition.